Hey everybody, T-Man again, bringing you guys another video. This will be doing my Monday Night Raw review for 2016. And I'm going to be breaking down not every segment because I don't want this video to run long. But I do have a lot to say, and so I'm going to be breaking down the main segment. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that Shane O'Mac. I will be breaking down, obviously, the Brock Lesnar Dean Ambrose segment. I will be breaking down briefly the Wyatt segment with Ryback. And lastly, the Roman Reigns and Triple H segment ending the show. So let's get right to it, but before we do, quick channel updates, guys. As you guys know, following Monday Night Raw, I'm going to go in-depth about the Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania. I will be going in-depth for that match. Take a look at that. And once we get 31 days into WrestleMania, I am doing my countdown, guys. Counting down 31 straight days. I will be giving you a WrestleMania review, starting from the worst WrestleMania, in my opinion, all the way down to my very favorite WrestleMania of all time, giving you my countdown. So take a look out for that. Also, look out for my fantasy booking. I'm probably about 7-8 superstars in. I'm going to be doing the whole roster, telling you what I would do with each wrestler. I just saw my recent video I just did was a diva, my first diva on fantasy booking, and that was Natalya Neidhart. So let's get into Monday Night Raw. We kicked it off with Vince McMahon Sr. Legacy of Excellence Award. And you know what? Nobody, I think, predicted, that Shane McMahon was going to return during this segment. Okay, Shane McMahon is back, and I don't think anybody anticipated him returning here. And if anybody said they did, they're damn lying. No one did. I mean, I've been watching wrestling for years, since I was 4 years old, and that one completely slipped past. I did not see that coming in a million years. Now, as far as the award goes to, I thought it was going to be one of two things. I knew it was going to be, this award was going to be something that would ignite a program that would mean something. I knew it was going to be a meaningful segment that was going to kick us off to Mania, because it's no coincidence. I even said this before in a past video, but when they announced this award, it's no coincidence they're doing this the night after Fastlane, on the first official road going to WrestleMania, when you got to do a selling point to start getting people to buy those WrestleMania tickets and get pumped up. You got to do something now. And I thought it was either going to be The Undertaker, use that and then someone interrupt him, or I thought it was going to be Triple H, use that award as a heater with the rivalry with Roman Reigns. But I did not see the Stephanie one coming. I mean, and then definitely I did not. When Stephanie came out, I did not know where they were going with that. When Stephanie came out, they accept the award from her father. I had no idea where it was going at that time. Absolutely no idea where it was going. And then when Shane McMahon came off, I jumped out of my feet. And you know what's really funny is, okay, I got Time Warner Cable, guys, right? Time Warner Cable. And I live on the West Coast. So for me, it comes on at 8 p.m., but anyone that has DirecTV here in the West Coast gets it at 5 p.m., okay? So it starts at 5 p.m. here in the West Coast where I live. But if you have cable, you have to wait till 8 o'clock after it's pretty much already over. But something told me I need to watch this thing live. And I didn't watch the whole show live. I just watched the first segment, the first 30 minutes. And I went on a streaming site online, and I watched it, the first 30 minutes. And I'm glad I did, because if I would have waited at 8 o'clock, it would have been blown for me on Twitter. It would have been ruined for me. And boy, I was so happy what I saw, guys. I was pumped when Shane McMahon came out. And obviously, I'm not going to go into every single thing they exchanged, but I like the parts of a Shane McMahon acknowledging how bad the ratings are in WWE. I thought that was a real, truthful answer. And don't mistake yourself, guys. Vince McMahon called Shane McMahon to do this segment in WrestleMania. I guarantee you, they needed to do something big with all the injuries. They knew there was no wrestler that can probably do it, so they needed to do a gimmick. They needed to do a storyline angle. They needed to get something big enough for WrestleMania, especially around The Undertaker, especially to sell those 100,000 seats Vince McMahon wants to do. And this was the biggest thing he can think of, and it's not bad, because we all think there's bad blood in real life between Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon. He hasn't been around in WWE TV for like 7 years. So this was a smart move. Now, this is not a move that's going to make everybody happy. I know there's a lot of people that's going to crap on this. But if you look at it as an entertainment standpoint, it's not bad. And with a month away, I'm sure the storyline leading up to this is going to be pretty good. And the stipulation of the match. So pretty much, he bashed the WWE, whatever, says he wants control of Monday Night Raw. I thought that was the wrong wording. He should say the control of WWE, because it's going in the toilet. Because just Raw, I didn't like the way that sounded, you know? The control of the company sounds a lot more strong than just control of Raw. But they're trying to dress it up as well. Raw controls the whole company. Whatever happens on Raw dictates the future. No. Just say WWE. It just sounds right. But anyways, that's just me nitpicking. Anyways, the story's still good. I mean, they did a good job in it. And I commend on WWE. I commend WWE on the surprise. And I commend WWE on having the balls enough, because it's gutsy to bring old man Shane out there, saying you want to hooking him up against the Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. That's ballsy, man. That is a ballsy move. And in my next video, I'm going to be doing a Shane McMahon versus Undertaker video. Stay tuned for that, because I will be telling you guys what directions they can go in. But the reason why I like this angle is because I have no idea where they're going with this. Someone like me who's been watching a long time, I can predict almost everything and kind of see the direction. Maybe I might not be right of who wins every single match, but I have an idea of where they're going with the stories. This one, I have no idea. This one caught me completely blindsided here. So anyways, Vince McMahon announced that it's going to be Shane McMahon versus Undertaker in Hell in a Cell for control of Monday Night Raw. So obviously really interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to swap out, like having as the weeks go forward, like injure Shane McMahon maybe next week or in the next 2 weeks, and then announce that he needs somebody to wrestle on his behalf to make it I think they're booking it this way in case if John Cena is ready, in case if he gets that green light, they can just put him in there and have John Cena with Shane McMahon representing him for Control Monday Night Raw against Vince McMahon with the Undertaker on his. I'm going to break it. There's more I have to say about that match and where they're going and why Undertaker would even represent Vince McMahon. I will get into that in the next video, so take a look. So let's move on. So great segment. Started off Monday Night Raw really strong. The only problem with that is I don't believe it ever, only 3 segments were good. That, Brock Lesnar, and then at the end was just okay with Triple H and Roman Reigns. But man, they kicked it off strong. That should have been the ending of Monday Night Raw. But I'm glad it was the first thing that I saw, because man, it was memorable. It was completely memorable. So let's move on to the next thing to talk about on Raw that was interesting is, of course, the Brock Lesnar Dean Ambrose. At the beginning of Monday Night Raw, before Raw even started the air, they showed Brock Lesnar attack Dean Ambrose, put him through a windshield of a car, and presumably went to the hospital. So Brock Lesnar says, you know what, Paul Heyman pretty much cut the promo for Brock as always and said, you know what, Dean Ambrose is not even going to be ready for WrestleMania. He's going to miss WrestleMania because he screwed Brock Lesnar, and that's what anyone gets. And there's going to be a lot of F5s on the way to WrestleMania, and I felt bad for the opponent. And then Dean Ambrose comes in the ambulance, barely crawling, barely whatever. And let me tell you guys, I love this rivalry between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar, and I'm so happy that the WWE decided to pull an audible here instead of having Brock fight Spray with Dean Ambrose. I mean, I think they changed it. And I think the reason why they had Dean Ambrose drop the title a week ago was when he dropped the title, that's probably when they decided fully that they were going to go in that direction with Brock and Dean, because I believe that the original plans for both of them was Dean and Jericho, which they had to try to find something else for Jericho now, and Brock and Bray. And I think they changed that idea because they saw the chemistry that was there between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. There was some major chemistry between those two. I mean, the storyline of that triple threat, in my opinion, those two were the most interesting thing, and Dean Ambrose claiming to be the, indestructible Iron Man of the WWE. It was really cool and really smart by them to do this trigger, and I loved the promo segment. I loved how Dean Ambrose just keep taking the beating. They have something really special here. I don't want them to try to turn Dean heel, or because the fans are completely behind them, or try to find Brock heel. Have both men go into it. I think Brock Lesnar's going to win the match, but they're going to make Dean Ambrose look like $1 million here. They have an opportunity here, which I thought was never possible, to kind of pull, a little bit like a WrestleMania 13 moment with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart, how Austin passed out with his own blood. I think it might be something like that. And I think Dean Ambrose, even with a loss, I'm just saying he's probably going to lose against Brock. I think he's going to walk out of there as a top guy. I think Dean Ambrose is going to be the top guy, and I'm just hoping WWE doesn't screw that up by attempting to turn him heel against Roman. And I'll get in a little bit with Roman right now, but real quickly, I'm going to touch upon the Wyatt family and the Ryback thing. Boy, I was reading earlier today on WrestleZone here on Monday morning that they're saying that Dave Meltzer's reporting that as of yesterday or whatever, that WWE has not contacted Bill Goldberg about WrestleMania 32. I call utter BS on that. I think if Goldberg is coming, because right now we still don't know. We really don't. But if they are, I think they're trying to keep this close to their chest. But there's been a lot of hints, especially after last night on Monday Night Raw. Ryback turning a heel. They made him look so strong against the Wyatt family on Sunday night at Fastlane. And then Monday night, presumably turning heel, saying he's on his own and he's doing his own thing and he wants to face a top guy. He wants to be a top guy. Vince, stop playing with the trash. My son, Vicious Vinny. But, I don't know where we're going to, but now, sometimes I jump the gun and I bash WWE without seeing the storyline completely play out, because I thought that the Wyatt family was going to rival with Brock Lesnar. So when I saw Ryback that strong, and I'm like, and having to win, I'm like, why would you give them the win if the Wyatt family? No, because the plan is not to have the Wyatt family against Brock. Who knows what the Wyatt family's going to do at WrestleMania? But I think it's really interesting that Ryback got that win, only if Bill Goldberg is the guy that's going to face him, because that's just going to be a reason why they come, is to see the wannabe Ryback get squashed by the original Bill Goldberg. Really interesting. So that's all I want to say about that one. Let's get into the main event. I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet and to the point, because believe me, you guys, I will be pumping out a lot more videos this week. Also, let's get into the main event here. Roman Reigns, Sheamus. I'm not even going to break down the match. The thing I want to break down here in this ending of Raw is the beatdown Triple H put on Roman Reigns. And here's where, again, it's not looking right that this is blowing up in WWE's face. Is you got your heel, Triple H, who's legitimately trying to be a heel and get these fans behind Roman Reigns, and it's not happening. They're cheering Triple H, and the more gruesome of a beatdown he was putting on Roman Reigns, the fans were getting, they were with it. They kept saying yes. They were doing the yes chant. The more Triple H was putting the beatdown on him. Then when he did the pedigree in the steps, after he's already busted open and bleeding all over the place, the fans were chanting, do it again. And that's your baby face. You're supposed to get behind, which Vince McMahon is picturing the fans getting behind, to go for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. That's our babyface. They're cheering the heel to do that. And I know what Vince McMahon is saying backstage. Oh, that's just how the fans are these days, pal. They always regret and bash whoever we're going with. They love Roman. They're just going against the grain here, but they love him. They love the guy. No. I love Roman Reigns. I do. I see what the WWE sees in Roman Reigns. But they're not letting it happen organically. They just, again, I feel like I'm just beating on old drum here. I've said this on this channel so many times. They just see a guy who's ripped and has the look. That's our guy. He's big. You know, Vince McMahon, all about the big guy. That's our guy. He is your guy, but you have to let it happen organically. And I mean, it's hard right now because you don't let the man speak for himself. You don't give him bullet points and just say, "Go, show some personality. Let's see what you have." And you have to let him do that a few times. He might screw up a couple times, but you have to let him do that, okay? And he's especially in this day of age, he's not a 5-star wrestler worker. I mean, he can't go out there and give you a 5-star match all the time. He has a few main move sets that he does, and a rest, you know, he just plays the entertainment around it. You know, he doesn't have any of those qualities. You need to put him as a heel and let the fans go with him organically. Because once you're a heel, you can't do any wrong. You can make mistakes, have the fans boo you, and then once he starts showing that personality that people see, Vincent, turn on the light. Don't do that. Thank you. Once when people see that personality and see how funny he might be and be that edgy, cool heel, then you can flip on babyface. But he has to get some personality. He has to get the fans behind him as a heel. Okay, get the fans at first, have them boo his heart out. Have everybody boo him out of the building until he starts showing that personality. If he never shows that personality as a heel and fails as a heel, then that right there shows you Roman Reigns is not going to be the guy. But I think he does have that. I think you need to give him a chance because right now, this is embarrassing. And I hate what Vince McMahon and the WWE and Triple H and everybody's saying. Oh, it's just a wrestling internet community. No, it's not just the internet wrestling community. Yes, I'm coming around bitching because I look at it and it looks like garbage on the TV. And you can't just say, well, the fans, it's hard to be a babyface. The fans just boo him. Look at Dean Ambrose, man. So you can't say that. They're not going against the grain. The fans are not. Look at Dean Ambrose. You put Dean Ambrose in that same position Roman Reigns is, and the fans aren't going to boo it because they're behind him. Why? Because Dean Ambrose has those qualities. Dean Ambrose, first of all, is a killer on the microphone. You can get behind him. You can get behind his gimmick. This crazy thing. He plays it. He acts it out well. He's a great actor. He's a great promo guy. You know, he can take a script. And even though it's not his own, he can make it funny. He can do what he has to do. And not to mention, on top of all that, he can give you those 5-star matches in the ring. Him and Seth Rollins, they're both the two best out of the Shield. Roman Reigns has the look. I'm not bashing Roman Reigns. He's going to be that guy. But it's going to be a little slower on him, and you can't, you know, continue to make these mistakes with Roman. So I'm really, really scared here on WrestleMania. Like, do you really want everyone just booing crazy at Roman Reigns that's supposed to be a babyface? No matter what, you're going to have a heel. Don't touch the light, son. You're going to have, no matter what, you're going to have a heel walking out of WrestleMania 32 as a champion. Okay? But how you decide on doing this, do you want the fans angry because they feel like the owner's out of touch and having the supposed babyface walking out all happy and smiling, the fan with 100,000 people booing him? Or do you want the fans to still boo but said, oh, that's badass, by having Roman Reigns winning as a heel? Because the fans are going to be behind Triple H in the match. They are. I mean, you can literally shoot Roman Reigns in between the eyeballs with a gun and blow his head clean off his shoulders at this point, after what I saw last night on Monday Night Raw, and the fans are going to cheer Triple H for him from blowing his head off. Because that's pretty much what I saw on Raw. So put the gimmicks behind the match. Oh, and another thing I'm going to make a video on, guys, and I'm going to wrap this up because I can rant on for this about ever, is what Vince wanted to do with Batista turning down the WrestleMania 32 Raw as a special referee. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on that. Well, that'll conclude this video, guys. So, thumb up the video if you like it, please. Leave your comments down where? Vincent? Leave the comments down below. Right, Vicious Vinny?
Yeah.
That's right. And please subscribe. Let's grow this channel together. Please share this on your Twitter and your social media. And me and Vicious Vinny will see you on the next video, right?
Take care, guys.